And we studied different researcher of the liberation path, and quoting the 9 vehicles, and until we reach the 8th vehicle, and it doesn't matter, whole is 9 vehicle, quoting the vehicles, quoting the followers, and also for the liberations. There is some is like a impossible, like a how do you say, it's like tools, and or it is like a really main, like a path. It is the sustained, the calm, and profound insight. And of course, firstly, it is sustained calm. Secondly, profound insight. And sustain comes. Some researcher or some is like a follower of the Buddha. Of course, all of them, they're using the syllogism and reasonable, or it's like kind of the cognitions, like a direct valid cognition or indirect valid cognition, and also very indirect cognitions. Generally, we say is all the philosophical tenets are no mistakes, because and to abandon all the unmistaken, unknowing things, and also it is like the totally realization of 3 reasonable of the mind, and that is the when we are establish the like a real teacher or qualified teacher or truth speaker, unmistaken leader of the Buddha. And like a Buddha's his own philosophical tenets, which is tool for how to receive or achieve the liberation, unmistaken liberation, definitive liberation, correct liberation. And therefore, when we follow up the Buddha's teachings, firstly, and we are study, and what is the Buddha's philosophical tenet says. And secondly, we are contemplate, it is truth or not truth. And Buddha, it is himself, he has direct valid cognitions and understood direct phenomena. There's no kind of the error. And Buddha, he has the knowledge, cognition of the indirect valid cognitions, and he unmistakenly understood indirect phenomena. And also he has the knowledge, the cognition of the secret, very indirect cognologies, and some phenomena very indirect. Also, in that perspective, there's no errors. Therefore, direct, indirect, very indirect phenomena is the mind is become enlightenment. Then is the penetrated, and like everything is understood. Therefore, we call the omniscient. And then how he is like kind of the using philosophical tenets, establish the feature of the meaning of the liberation. Of course, just liberation, the meaning of the liberation, it is the essence nature of the mind. And the meaning of the liberation, when we realize the essential nature of the phenomena, that moment we understood the name of the liberations. And then it's like this is like first, it's the very important. It is a philosophical tenet related to the syllogism, like a kind of reason up, like there is like at least five or the three valid cognitions establish the how it is. It doesn't matter externally appearances or inner perception, or it's like kind of the perceiver of the mind, and how it is the feature, simplicity, the nature of the those, how it is. Generally speaking, we have mind, perceiver, and we have appearances, perceive things, and also we have a perception, inner mind's tendencies or the pictures. And without analyze, okay, looks like everything is like this. But really to precisely to analyze, then it's like very bizarre, very funny, extremely funny. We don't know who we are ourselves. We something is to follow, make joke, one retreat. He was in the solitude place, in his own tent, no cave. But certainly his vision or something his really is appearances, very aggressive yak enter into his tent. And he is like kind of the showing say go away, but yak is not. And like kind of the showing the long tongue, and it's like kind of spit is licking, and horn is very sharp, and eye is very aggressive gazing to him, and this yaks enter inside. Also he's a little bit become angry. He pick up one stick, beat him, and yak and meditators fighting. Yak completely broken his tent. He beated a lot of. Certainly, he kind of the rest. What am I doing? Of course, there's no yak. And the front, there is one black ball, completely crushed. One thing he saw, that is his teapot. Nothing else. His illusion is teapot is become the yak. And like this, sometimes we are something follow, chasing, searching, doing. It's amazing. And therefore Buddha says, like everything is in the ordinary perspective, of course the real, but in the yogi's perspective, everything is like a dream, hallucination, and like a mirage, echo. And then it's like something we see, something is perceivers, both perspective to analyze completely. Finally, it's become the simplicity. Simplicity is simple and manage, you can say. Why? Because it's like it is many or it is the single. And we do not analyze it. Just whatever appear in mind, whatever appear in the appearances, we just follow searching details. The mind is all the time is the busy and never understood the crucial, the vata point. Therefore, first times, Buddha, he said, tame your mind. Tame your mind. If you tame your mind, you can to realize it something through the profound insight. Insight, not outside. Superior see insight. And therefore, first time sustain it. You use it, doesn't matter. 9 methods of placing. It doesn't matter you using the like a different methods, or they using the methods of visualizations, creation stage, dissolutions, and many different there's methods in order to mind become calm. And of course mind is the sustained calm, then mind is become more shine out, understood real what it is, what is going on. And also maybe become more lesser confused. And then of course we say the profound insight, seeing spatial insight, that means understood each individual phenomenon's insight, what it is, the natures, the realities. And then it's like a combination of the sustain and calm and profound insight. And sustain calm means mind is holding, meditate, to sit in the mind itself. And that moment, mind is become the single pointedness, lesser kind of the turmoil. But this single mind is understood all everything of the phenomena. Maybe single mind is understood what it is. This the aspect of the understanding that is you call the profound insight. Understanding things and understanders, there is no separations. Supreme indivisibility of the understander, understand. That is the, then is the, become the, we can successful, and maybe is the foundation of the liberation. And like a kind of the be more relaxed, free, busy, dualistic the mind is. And therefore it's the very important first time is to meditate. Here is the sustained calm and abiding, calm abiding, and vipassana means profound inside us. And also it like the perfect Buddhahood, with the perfect Buddhahood. Buddhahood, perfect. Perfect, it is many different there is. Like perfect means the basic perfections, the perfection of the path, perfection of the maturations, result. In the simplicity of the single pointed of the minders, to complete it or perfectly all the phenomena of the samsara nirvanas there. There's a single phenomena do not need to abandon, do not need to adopt. At the beginning times, there is endowment. This is the basic perfections or the perfect. Of course, in the path, there are the such a path, but in the Buddha's path, and this is the single person's how to apply us for the liberation in order to realize that this basic or the ground primordial perfections. There are the such kind of the multipliers path and entrance methods. Perfect there is. There's nothing left, kind of nothing miss or nothing added. Everything's complete there's. Completion of the path. And also in the maturations, when you are to be liberated through this completion of the path, perfect path, and you are become the perfect Buddhahood. And you revealed what you have in the primordially. Nothing else. You nothing added. You nothing removed from that. Nothing collect. Nothing separated. And just you are revealed as it is. That is the perfection of the maturation we call the perfect Buddhahood. That is you focus on, yesterday we say, as your single aim. Why it is the single aim? These single aims benefit each single sentient beings, included ourselves. Therefore, single path of the Mahayanas, single meaning, and the single liberations, the single activities benefit whole sentient beings. Single meanings, single paths, uncompleted, all many tasks. Therefore, that is your sole aim. And this single path, we should to know about that. Some in the contact of the followers, Shavaka say this single meaning. Oh, that is to indivisibility of the partless particles or indivisible moment of the consciousness. Or maybe in the some circles say that the unification of the luminosity, emptiness, but more in the luminosities. Someone says the emptiness, someone says the and appearances, luminosities, and someone says is alpha purities. It doesn't matter. Everybody is concerned with the single point, single M, single state. That the single state, the single M, single path is the essence nature of the phenomena. Our to nature of the mind is, there is, you choose to say the single, but reality, even you cannot to say the single. It is not a single, it is not many. But here is one-pointedness means unit. Everything is, that is the you say one-pointed. That is the one-pointed aim. Maybe that is the more we need to concern. It's the time really to think about. It is very, very important. Maybe to receive teaching a lot, very good. Maybe you need a lot of knowledge. That is also very good. But you should to research the single pointed of the mind, which is the simplicity, your own position, your own property, your own potential, your own mind. And that is the most important. Maybe sometimes we can to check ourselves. Maybe, for example, me sometimes say, you have very strong diabetic, your kidneys problems, maybe your death is very near. And that moment, what you can do, what can I do? And I cannot to die, or I'm afraid for the death. Or I'm still concerned in something my tasks. Very stupid. And that perspective, now it is the time. How about the generally like a soul aim of the single mind, your own potentials? Are you meditate on it? If you meditate on it, fantastic. Now is the time. There is the great transference, Dharmakaya transference there, Sambhogakaya transference there, Namanikaya transference there. Then you used another true transference or poor that moment. Then you as very stupidly said. You immediately great transference is Dharmakaya. Completely need to dissolve into your inner the single pointed of your own potential of the Buddha nature. That called the natural space. Very smiley, happily, you enter into there. Go to like this. I'm take example, but not necessarily. Who knows? Some certainly now your life is ending. That moment, how you can to use the Dharma. Yeah, I studied many books. Which books now is necessary to study. First share the book, second share the book, third, I received this, I received 100,000 empowerment. Also, I received a lot of the instructions. But I have this knowledge, but I didn't practice. Now it's like start to experience very difficult. Therefore, yogis, great yogis, each moment they exercise. Make joke like exercise. For example, when you drink tea, after finish it, they say very strongly upside down. Some yogis. If you ask, what are you doing? Maybe next time, maybe I'm not drink this cup. Maybe I will not use. And next time you upside like 2 cups, then thanks, I'm not diet. And you can use it again. And this kind of exercise necessary. Really? Maybe not you, okay? I need it. In the morning, wake up. I'm wake up. Not yet died. How it is my dream. And during the dream, am I practice? I'd really follow up the Buddha's teaching, my master's teaching. In the morning, how it is today. Maybe looking, thinking about the kind of the family, enemy, and completely mind connect to the disturbing emotions, lot of thinking past, lot of future planned, and like this, then is a study Dharma. You know, it is like someone is arrived in the golden sand land. Everybody is collecting gold. Say, hey, collect your gold. Everywhere is gold land. Then why you need? Anytime is you pick up. Certainly say, we need to move. And you moved. Second, sand land. No gold. And that time everybody has collected such a gold. I say, where's your gold? And you showing your tongue, say, I didn't collect. I thought gold is everywhere. Maybe sometimes when we have opportunities, great, we need to use Dharma, really bring into the mind to practice every day. It doesn't matter you every day to say that, I'm doing so, okay. Holiness said, some is Tibet practitioners. They say, slowly distract their mind, then finally they say, money. Maybe it's a recite, Patrul Rinpoche says, you not understand this crucial point, you recite billions mantras. Maybe it's make liberation. He said, I have doubt. Maybe you take the 4 sessions per day, connect to generation, dissolution, cutting through, spontaneous, present, and leap over, so on. But if you do not understand the crucial point, maybe difficult to say the liberation path. Now, very important, sometimes to try to generate bodhicitta. And Patrul Rinpoche says, first, Patrul Rinpoche, if we are taming, connect with our mind, bodhicitta, purely, utterly, maybe your path is on there, liberation path. Never make mistake. Maybe longer, but there's. Maybe if you want to short, then is the good view means to look at the nature of mind. What we receive this one, each moment. Yesterday we said that is through the calm, like a stained calm, and then it's like wisdoms, like a profound inside means You understand the feature of your position of the nature mind, the Buddha nature. Maintain each moment. You know, some great masters, all the times, each moment. This is the hundreds. You make retreat exactly the same. You don't need to go to the retreat. This one is like when you receive, you understood each moment. When I'm working, how I can to maintain that. When I'm like kind of something sick, how I can to maintain that. If I receive the criticize, how I can to maintain that. If I'm very happy, excited, how I can to maintain on that. If I'm death possessed right now, how I can to maintain on that. And on it, that is how it is birth, how it's old age, sickness, death. Is from that occurring all these things, but how it is occurring. Really, truly existence, birth, old age, sickness, death. How I can to realize the deathless. But my body is collapsing slowly, disappeared, changed, maybe on the past millions times. Anyway, one body we cannot use all the times. It's the truth. Even our lives, our child body we cannot use. Each moment changing. New body change, old body change, new body there is. But crucial point, do not understand. There is, when we are lost the old bodies, problems. When we need to buy new body, it's problems. When we got the body, also it's problems. Difficult to look after, you know. Like this, I make joke, okay? Simple make a joke. Maybe it is something there is useful. You can to think. If there's nothing kind of you think is blah blah blah, then get rid of that. No problem. Like this is just I'm telling myself. In Russian language, I am Santakoi. This therefore, Sekela. Now is. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. Hamako Oka asks, can you explain more about Sutrayana Bodhisattva and Mantrayana Bodhisattva? Can you list up some names? For example, which one is Sutrayana Bodhisattva? Which one is Mantrayana Bodhisattva? Thank you very much.
And that is quite, say, the difficult, okay? But many Bodhisattvas, Mahayanas Bodhisattvas, someone is like for benefit for other sentient beings to emphasize the kind of holding in the Sutayanas. For example, Nangachuna, Asangas in the Sutayanas, Bodhisattvas. But there are also Mantrayanas Bodhisattva, 100%. But more they like keep this tradition and to lead benefit for or lead for other sentient beings. And also it's like Mantrayanas Bodhisattvas like Pema Sambhava, Garab Dorje, and Longchenpas, and also like the kind of sort of this. But of course there are also Sutayanas Maha Bodhisattva. But you cannot to say that is a completely different the person's mind. But in the externally to point out like those kind of like this, but those are the already Bodhisattvas.
Thank you. Dasha Guseva asks, What elements of Anuyoga are there in Rigzingdupa practice? Thanks.
Element. What does it mean, element?
What parts of Anuyoga are there within the practice of Rigzingdupa?
It's the connect to the Ana Yoga, but it is like a world is like kind of Ati Yoga, and Yamka is the connect to the Ati Yoga, but a little bit also connect to the Ana Yoga. But base this all the structure is the Mahayogas.
Thank you. Emi Nakamoto asks, you referred to by means of the upper door. Does the upper door mean top of the head?
Yes. Top of head, there is the door of the central channels. That's all. Finished. Okay. Thank you. Sunam daya tam che zibanye tane nye padana pam ye te he ganan je. Trivaya sapan sole endroka drova sho. de ton ki ta tu ki sin kama de ko cha. Kira ko dama saya tera dorji de te sunjari chunku ko ni te na shonya yolang Kira choko kalanda seti sanjan po tsara tu chen jombu to te ki pari men kandu tsongko ko Sima shunka sampanyo pati sampo pajira kira ko Rajate tsemo jami kan kakyo locho marma bende ya Shokira shansho andana shana pami santa wanjim Sando pajira kira ko chamba chancha lomben jayin cha Namaka tara tashi tang sharunda ya gurdin tava chen Chungro dudo tata tato pa sando pajira kira ko Nandati che ni sama jong to son tapa to ton chon rin zan sha so damara ta son chu je da dang da le je son do hua che ro ren che ko po ron jan me chen bu te la la ren chen se ma ye de ka sang gen ti ra shon pan ma jong ka son rin yin je se mo na je son do hua je ro ren che ko kan ge sa de chen ye ki sa ton nya nya je ka ri nyam che ni so che ka na che pa po ye ta che ba shi va chom je ba mi ji son do hua je ro ren che ko yi je ta na je wa rin da na so pa ji ro ren jang sa li yon je ta na pa wa da ban de na sha tu nya po do no chu da ra dam do hua je ro ren che ko Jimbo nyinga tam trubu tirtana trubu chanchor nam Tabarungi kurbo la shuja yumin gomba zinji tarjida Sambo pajira uranjiva kushu shen samjida tachida varjimaka Wawundaka lada namu kandu jila karamu tartavayo Shana samhim chutan tubra shetando pajira uranjiva Yeta lonki jermin kundi na shana padma jirtin washila Soye chunkur savi koji pur namdo vacha dadun tarvashil Namdo farjir varjir ko tirta churki jakam nyam gavar Jena yeki nyamu kandalar nam tariba korlavda churtun Tunkur gomba nyabam chani jena namdo farjir varjir ko Puchi boja shena sa la chen de de ka Ponyin ngani mata tam chandra tam ja jam su war ta jer nga dong Sam tam pa jera war je ko
Titrajanga Putta Sartani Shirayarja Namdo Parala Yarchanaga Rubi Mundemti Ralimam Titrajanga Putta Narana Namdo Paramundako Yabrajito Zamutim Jita Sumporgi Patrul Rinpoche Sando Pari Popta Chirelaki Kiror Bertardoni Dari Panjo Jedam Jerko Tudram Tongo Malulamiru Ravgadim Sumakanda Ujjeva Tilidur Jita Basam Chodi Ebro Sredu Bachimboya Tamumaya Yekilamisa Shirkadu Ganda Tuni Jaya Padma Uttaturako Kati Kumba Terchin Maduna Sundir Mola Tabu Pinayi Hanshin Chela Tanto Shonte Padmi Ponya Kandu Kankanbi Monsamala Katra Nivoni Kachin Zadam Kanana Tata Dajam Padma Uttaturako Choyana Brata Budin Bata Koncho Tasam Jam Sutiji Daki Monba Yujim Dujani Gavadende Tepurashit Parasho Banjangara Banasada Hoi Sandamandra Shancha Shola Yava Sonji Nanji Yonzo Yida Jelena Balasho Shoncha Sambana Drodan Tula Gondo Shongombo Yina Kongo Samchen Nala Tenjo Sho Samchen Tamche Dedon Danje Jingen Doda Sanchen Nokonda Sayaba Deva Kajim Hala Lepa Sho Korve Jinkamansa Pandon Deva Malin Jongve Xianren Ziwan Tenzon Jamzo Ye Shabe Sande Bardo Tenjure Sasen Lame Kose Denba Don Kanya Yongla Deji Jongwa Loyen Mali Tsosa Devjon Nirda Songje Salan Gobra Shor Kida Kanda Yongda Lama Under me Chuje Bala Longshe Je Sadon Lamje Yanta Chunga Gombo Nirda Shoi Chusaran Dayan Yedi Jankur Yan Shochin Tadra Kanda Chojirat Lodri Pemor Abda Jibaji Sonji Tenba Tarki Jipar Sho Benza Sato Samayamani Benza Sato